Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews, you can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. You know, it's the end of the year. Gotta do these roundup videos. I did an albums of the year that were my favorite. Definitely go check those out. There's some phenomenal records on that list, and I just hopefully that you guys go check those out because these bands work really hard at putting out music, and I would definitely love to see you guys go support them as much as I support them. So definitely go check those out. Also, I'll be doing some favorite tours that I've been to this year, and other things of that nature, and then some new stuff in the new year to be worked on as well. So if you enjoyed any of that, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that thumbs up so you don't miss out on anything. And as the title suggests, I'm going to be going over EPs that I thought were really good this year. There's probably some that I have missed, but for the most part, these were the ones that stuck with me for most of the year. Some of them haven't even been out for that long, but just have that sort of just pull to them, which I had to add them onto the list. So number 11 on my list is Moral Support's Nowheresville. This one came out pretty recently, but I am just a huge fan of these guys. More or less that they've just become really great friends over this past year. I feel like it's a good culmination of all that sort of things bundled together. And, it definitely reminds me a little bit of melodic hardcore, reminds me a little bit of metalcore. And there's just really good diversification amongst those two genres. And I feel like they put them well together in just a way that just is really interesting. Also, a little bit of Beartooth in there, too. Definitely go check out this band. I think that they put out a great EP, and I'm excited to hopefully later down the line that they'll do a full length. So number 10 on my list is Highwires, Different Places. This band has definitely blew up in terms of just a band that I had like no clue about, and I feel like that they have kind of gotten a little bit more, pull and a little bit more just popularity over this past year. They put out a phenomenal record, EP, Different Places. I think it kind of reminds me of nostalgic pop punk, but at the same time it has spots of new pop punk as well. So I feel like they combine new and old very well, and I'm excited to see that hopefully they'll be doing a full length next year or maybe the year after. I'd really love to hear their kind of progression as a band, and I feel like an EP is a good start, but I would love to hear, especially with smaller bands, how they kind of progress over the years with full lengths, EPs, things of that nature. I think that it's a good way to measure growth, and I definitely feel like this band is on that list for that reason. So number 9 on my list is My Good Friends in Limbs. They released an EP called Sleep. They also released a free EP, I think under the same name or a similar name, and they were on tour with Idola, Capsize, and there's definitely another band. I can't remember it. I think it's Hail the Sun. It is Hail the Sun. They were headlining, and then they had this band open up for them, and I really got hooked on them initially. I had not heard of them before prior to that, and just immediately I just was hooked on this EP. I think it's one of the best ones to come out this year for sure, and rightfully so. I feel like it belongs on this list without a doubt. It's really heavy, reminds me of bands like Every Time I Die, Let Live, The Chariot, and they have that sort of great presence to go along with it. I feel like this band in particular is a band that you need to see live as opposed to listen to their record. I think that they do a really good job on record, but just seeing them live is like a whole nother sort of mess of things. So definitely go check that out when you get the chance to. So number 8 on my list is Crazy 88's No Words Spoken. This is very reminiscent of Underoath and that sort of vibe of music. It combines two YouTube personalities in the scene, both Lauren Babick and Jared Alonge, both incredibly talented people at what they do. I love Jared Alonge for his satire music, and Lauren has a really great voice, and I like her band Red Handed Denial. If you haven't checked out her band, definitely go do so. But Crazy 88 was a really great side project. I'd love to see more from them in the future. I feel like it really has a really unique sound to them, and I really appreciate that, just as kind of almost a nostalgic sort of pull sort of a thing. They really do an amazing job, and I would love to see how everything kind of pans out in a full length. So we're gonna move into number seven, which is Migrants, New Addicts. They are my good friends, and this record is so good. I'd be remiss not to add it onto my list this year. Nathan has worked with Bradley Walden as with Bradley's his vocal coach. He definitely takes cues from Johnny Craig and a little bit of Tyler Carter. He just really puts his own spin on that sort of R&B flavor of music, and I feel like he's kind of a combination of all three of those vocalists I just mentioned, in just a unique way. Really just really eclectic music, and I feel like they are a band that if you haven't heard of or you didn't check out their review, I would highly recommend go giving this band a listen. They deserve a lot of love, and I'd love for them to get big because they just absolutely killed it on this EP, and I'd love to see their thought process in a full length. So number six on my list is Yvette Young's acoustic EP number two. She's a good friend of mine. She's also the guitarist of Covet, which is another amazing band. If you haven't checked them out, I would highly recommend doing so. But I love when she does acoustic, just her sort of solo project stuff, because it allows me to listen to her sing, and I think she has an amazing singing voice. And it's kind of unfortunate that she doesn't do too much of that in Covet. I understand that that's not the place for that type of music, but I would certainly like to see that maybe down the line. But she really killed it on this acoustic EP. It was one that I knew that I was going back to and was just on point with this one. So definitely go give her a listen. Go check out Covet. I know they're in the studio right now, working on new material, so I'm super stoked on that, and I was super stoked on this EP. So number five on my list, kind of middle of the road, is A City Is Void. Definitely a hard-hitting record EP to come out this year. They worked with Andrew Wade, who has done A Day to Remember, Wage War, a bunch of other bands that you know and love, Neck Deep, and they just did a phenomenal job. Andrew did a phenomenal job on this record, but I feel like A City really kind of took hold of me on this EP, and it was definitely one that I've gone back to and continue to listen to just because it has that sort of great heaviness. I love. I keep forgetting his name. Damn it. I just love the whole band. I love the whole vocal aspect. I think Ray does a really great job at his vocals, the screamings, just the diversity amongst his screams and Eddie's cleans, and kind of he has that raspy sort of voice, so I love that too. And to me, this record kind of culminates all those things that they do well. Really solid. I hope that they do a full length sometime in the near future, because I'd love to see the just how they rework that sort of stuff. And if they made an EP sound this good, I can imagine a full length would sound even better. So number four on my list is Poeta's Golden Field. I feel like if I didn't have this on my list, I'd get a lot of hate, and for obvious reasons, because this record is so good. If you have not checked out Poeta, I would highly recommend checking these guys out. They're one of my favorite bands in the New Jersey scene, and I think for a good reason. They just put out solid music, very eclectic music. It kind of reminds me of a happier sort of Seosin, has some Chan vibes to it as well. It's just really good stuff, and it's hard to kind of pinpoint who they sound like. Definitely has that sort of Secret and Whisper sound, Search the City, that sort of upbeat, kind of like almost pop punk sort of style of music, pop rock, sort of those sorts of vibes. And it's just so good. I know I've been listening to this for pretty much the entire year, and is one that I know I could not have high up on this list of EPs of the year. So number three, we're getting into the higher sorts of EPs for this year, and I had to add this one to the list as well. Bill Murray's Banana. I know the naming is really dumb. I don't know why he names these odd names, but it's okay though, because the music is so good. Banana, I think, is by far his best work to date. It kind of combines a lot of elements of electronic. It combines his love of like 1975s and that sort of style of music, and then he has some sort of heavier elements, which is really cool. I like that he didn't stray away from that either, and kind of stuck to his roots. in that regard. But this one just kind of culminates the best of what he's doing so far, and I want to pick up I think it's the Dank collection when it goes back up online again. Just because it's so good. I feel like each EP that he's done, or kind of like between a full length and an EP, I feel like I had to pick these up just because it's so eclectic, and I love how he's changed his sound from EP to EP and still kind of remained the same. I think that's super cool, and I'm excited to check out the future stuff. So number 2 on the list, gotta have this band on the list as well, Eternities Forever Fantasy. If you haven't listened to this EP, you need to pause this video real quick and you need to go check this EP out. It's so good. It has the vocalist, ex-vocalist of A Lot Like Birds, Kurt Travis, as well as Ben Rosette of Strawberry Girls, and Brandon Ewing of X-Tron. It's kind of like a super group in a sense. I feel like they flew too close to the sun, and now that they are disbanded, this is all that we have, but it's okay though because it's so good. I love this EP. It's one that I put on pretty frequently, and it's definitely catchy. It's rhythmic. It's very R&B-esque, and I love it. Definitely go give this one a listen, and it definitely deserves to be number 2 on the list. So the moment you've all been waiting for, number 1 on my EPs of the year, it had to be Hail the Sun Secret Wars. They were released, I think, 11:09 at 11:09 on Wednesday, because I saw them at the show, and they released that song that same night, and then they released Secret Wars that Friday, which is crazy. And it's just a phenomenal EP. I think it's like I was saying about Bill Murray, I think it's their best work to date, just because it has elements of heavy, has some really great melodic tracks, and it kind of has some tracks that are kind of borderline in between that, and it just works. They know what they're doing. I'm so glad that they put out kind of a surprise EP, and just everybody was stunned by how good it was, including myself. It was so fresh, so new, and it's still really fresh and still really new, and I love it. It's one that I go back to. Donovan is such a great vocalist, and I think it's even more impressive that he did the drumming and the vocals on this. I know he doesn't do it as much live, kind of a 50-50, and my boy Alan does the drumming for them touring wise. And I love that. I think that Donovan just has a really great voice, and he's an incredible drummer as well, and it just kind of works. And the rest of the band, just their writing style is something that I've really aspired to be like as a guitar player, just for fun in and of itself. I think that they write beautifully, and they're really able to combine elements of melodicness and heaviness. So definitely that's my list for this year. Again, there's probably some that I missed, but definitely those were ones that stuck out to me this year. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on those EPs. What's your favorite EP of this year? And also go check our Albums of the Year review. Definitely go do that. Would be greatly appreciated. We want to know what your albums of the year were too, so definitely go check out that video after this one. And we have plenty of other good stuff to come out before the end of this year, hopefully. And I'm excited to share those things with you when it comes around. So thank you guys for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does go a long way. Like I said, my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.